Hey everybody, Paul Cram here. Talk about the day you left home. Hmm. Okay, I can talk about the day I left home. The day that I left home is it's not really like a warm fuzzy. It's actually the day that I left home would have been more. Um, there was just a lot going on in life for me and for my entire family and extended family. There was a lot going on. I was definitely at the age where, moving out would have been absolutely fine and great. Yeah, yeah. I feel a little apprehensive all of a sudden now. I'm like, gosh, how transparent do I want to be? My moving out of home was really bumpy. There was a lot of friction involved with parents. Basically, I was. And I understand the reasoning now. At the time, it was just a bit traumatic, I guess. Traumatic is probably the best word for it. When I left home, I was basically kicked out, and there was a lot of, like I said, there was just a lot of trauma going on. Not just within that moment of me leaving home, but just a lot of stuff that had happened to the family and to me and to everybody involved. So I was definitely not the only one that was having a rough time with life. Everybody was in my family at the time. And me leaving home, in retrospect, was probably one of the best things that happened during that time, because it kind of removed me from a lot of the tornado that was happening with the trauma and just with everything crazy that was going on. But it was not fun to exist in that, and it wasn't fun um, to go through. But I definitely feel like I grew a lot from it. Um, yeah, I mean, basically, what I did is, I was ordered to leave home or told to leave home, and because it was actually a very quick thing. Same within a few hours, I had, actually, it wasn't even a few hours. It was really fast that I had to leave. So, um, I had the clothes on my back for to start out with, and then I did wind up going back home a few days later just to get some of my stuff, and it turned into one of those things where it was like, I got some of my stuff, and then I wound up, basically going back and getting all of my things, bed and clothes and just everything. Yeah, yeah. Fortunately, now things are better, with family relations and stuff like that. So, um, between myself and parental figures, the thing I do appreciate about family is that, when in that situation, I actually had other siblings that I could go to during that time of being kind of kicked out of the house. Um, yeah, yeah. So, I would highly suggest if anybody finds themselves in that situation when you are, a teenager or, just not really even sure where you're at, even if you're an adult, there's so many good places that you can go to get help and assistance and housing. And there's a lot of, I mean, I think the thing that if I had nobody, if I would have found myself in that situation of being kicked out of my house, um, which I was, but I had people that I could turn to right away, that were in my phone. But had I been kicked out and not had anybody to turn to, I think that probably the smartest thing to do would be to call, you know, any kind of local. You can look up shelters, if you're in a city. Call local shelters, local churches, local um, even the police department or fire department, any of those places should be able to, help you get connected with, or at least start to connect the dots on like, oh gosh, where can I go at least for tonight, kind of a thing. So, I was fortunate that I didn't find myself without a place to go. Um, yeah, yeah. So, if and leave comments too if anybody else has ideas on where people would go if they, if they found themselves out on the street. So yeah, all right. Um, yeah. Anyways, that was a little bit of a darker story, but hopefully, yeah, it shed some light on that question. Thanks for asking, and I'll be in touch. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.